Hello guys, I hope you are doing well. Let's we continue our teaching about the methodology and selection the best methodology for the LCA in the SimaPro software. I turn on the laser pointer. Let's have a look of the another methodology about the use tax 2. That's, for example, this is a scientific approach developed under the UNEP STIC initiative used for assessing human toxicity and ecotoxicity. That's, for example, two main target of this method about the human toxicity and also the ecotoxicity. If it provides characterization factor CFS in the two type. One of them is a recommended type that's more reliable, and that's for example interim type that has a higher uncertainty. And also the interim factor are mainly used to complex substances like metals and detergents. Both types that, for example, in this method, the US tax 2 should be used together, otherwise some impacts may be missed. For example, result in this methodology express as a CTUH, and that's about the cases in kilogram, and also CTUE, that's about the ecotoxicity. Due to uncertain results should be interpreted carefully, and sensitivity analysis in this method is strongly recommended. In general, US tax method is a widely accepted method for toxicity assessment in the LCA. Let's have a look briefly of the another, for example, methodology about the available water remaining. This slide presents this methodology about the our method recommended by the VULCA and endorsed by the EUGRC and developed in the 2016 for assessing water scarcity impact. And also, for example, the main target of this method for measuring water scarcity impact. And also this method is measures water availability after meeting human and ecosystem needs using availability minus demand, AMD. That's, for example, about the based on the availability minus demand, AMD. Result in this section for this methodology are normalized to the global average. Higher value indicate greater water scarcity range between zero point 0.1 to 100. In the SimaPro software, only generic water use factors are available, and that's its unit about that's for example in this range between zero point 0.1 until the 100, the world average is equal to units. And also the higher value in this range means more water scarcity, and the unit is for example cubic meter world equivalent. In the SimaPro software, for example, that I tell you on that I have told you previously, only generic factors have available. Another methodology about the water scarcity about the Berger et al., which is developed in the 2014, and this methodology based on the wave method, which was developed by the Berger et al. In the 2014. Also, this method measures water scarcity and freshwater depletion risk. It user and indicator in this method about the water depletion index WDI, and it is based on the water consumption versus availability, and this methodology covers over 11,000 river basins and includes water from lakes and aquifer. It also accounts for absolute scarcity in the arid regime, providing more realistic results. Data that, for example, is based on the country level information, thought some regions may have missing data, for example, for this methodology. In general, it is uh, in general, this methodology offers a more comprehensive assessment of the water scarcity and depletion risk in comparison with the have available water remaining. We have another methodology about the Berger et al., which is developed in the 2011 about the human health. It is an endpoint method that's about for example, for example, the main factor about the human health impact daily, and also it is based on the water scarcity effects. In general and in summary, this methodology, for example, investigation that's the effects of the water scarcity on the human health, and also this methodology has three impact pathways. For example, one about the agriculture, about the main treatation, and also about the fisheries, about the main treatation, and about the domestic, about the water related diseases. In general, I should tell you that, for example, the main scope of this methodology about that's a human health, which is related to the water scarcity. And also this methodology uses hydrological and socio-economic data, and includes and also the adaptation capacity in the income level. This methodology has a two approach, one distribution or user affected, and also marginal only agricultural affected. And also this methodology is based on the regional water data. And also this slide present about Boulay et al. In the 2011 about the water scarcity, that you can see it also in the SimaPro software. This methodology is a midpoint indicator for water scarcity indicator WSI in the LCA. It is based on the ratio of the water consumption to availability CTR, and uses a logistic escape to present or to represent scarcity between 0 and 1. That, for example, you can see deprive to consume. This methodology is based on the OECD water stress threshold, and the data is extracted from the water gap model and consider the surface and also the groundwater, and also applies to the consumptive water use only, and also uses regional water data. Another methodology about the water scarcity about the excuse me about the about the water scarcity, about the ecological scarcity, which is developed in the 2016. It is an updated version of the earlier endpoints, which is developed in the 1997 method and is widely used in the Switzerland and European LCA study. This method is based on the concept of the ecological scarcity, where environmental impact are expressed in the environmental loading point known as a UVP, eco points. These points reflects how much a certain resource use contributes to the environmental pressure compared to the predefined policy target. It is a specific implementation only for only the natural resources category is considered, focusing on the water use. This method uses regional characterization factor, meaning that water scarcity impact vary depending on the geographic location. Several updates for this methodology have been made to include additional regional flows and improve compatibility with the newer data sets like ecoinvent. In general, this method provides a policy-oriented way to evaluate water scarcity, linking environmental impact to the sustainability target. About but so I think, for example, because in these days I have recorded in for example, two records for my channel in the renewable energy. So I think it is enough for today, and for example, we continue our teaching about the other methods in the SimaPro software. Have a nice night and goodbye.